Welcome back to Closet Full of Cash. I'm your host, Deanna, and today I am super excited because we have Erica from Barbie's Dreamhouse, in which you would automatically think Barbie the movie, but it's not. Barbie is actually her last name, and it's not Barbie, it's Barbee, but she is new into luxury resale. Not really new, but she has a beautiful business, and we're going to learn all about her. So please introduce yourself and tell us how you got into luxury resale.
Yes, thank you, Deanna. Thank you so much for having me on the podcast. I'm so excited to be here. Um, you're right. My last name, Barbie, actually was inspired by the Barbie movie. I have three daughters, and they're older. I mean, middle school and college. But we went to see the movie, and I came out. I said, "We've got to do something with our name and this movie." And there's just so much buzz about it. So I said, if I ever had a business, I'm going to call it Barbie Dreamhouse.
Oh,
And at the time, I didn't. But the minute I had the opportunity, I said, this is going to be my name. So
I
I had the
love
name
it.
first.
I love it. I love it. So what did you do before you got into this industry, and what made you pivot into it?
So I was in for 20 plus years, the fintech industry, which is like electronic payments. So not exciting, but I just fell into it. I had a job. I worked from home the whole time, which was great. I mentioned I had three daughters. For a portion of that time period, I was a single mom, so it really helped me be able to, get them to the bus stop, take a break, go to their activities at school. So it was wonderful. Um, I was a relationship manager, so I dealt with some of the higher end clientele accounts. I was really good at my job. I always exceeded my commission, goals. And then all of a sudden, the company just merged with another one, and they got rid of all of their work from home employees.
Ugh.
So I did have the option to go to an office, but I would have to move across the country, and I was not going to do that. So
No.
yeah. So they really they just got rid of a lot of great 20 plus year people, my whole division. um, it was pretty devastating, and it was not expected. So I took that time to say, what do I really want to do, because I never even wanted to do payments.
Yeah.
Never even
That
wanted that, it just happened. um, so I did the whole job search thing, and that's not fun, especially if
no.
you've never really had to do it and it's been over 20 years. um, it was demoralizing. I did not like it at all. I tried my best. It wasn't happening. It wasn't working for me, and I did everything I could, and I gave it a good try. But kind of at the same time, my daughter was graduating college, and she had a resale business for vintage Y2K thrift items that she was really good at finding, but not so great at selling. So she she built up kind of a big inventory, and she graduated. She got a job, and she's like, "I have all this stuff. I don't know what to do with it." So I'm like, well, I'm kind of tired of looking for a job. I need a mental break.
Yeah.
And I just took her inventory, started selling it. Um, and I loved it. Like, I really enjoyed it. So that's kind of what got me started. I've always kind of sold on eBay, stuff that I had around the house,
Yeah.
um, for years. So I kind of knew how to do it, but I didn't really know how to do it at scale. And I figured, well, this is a great time to learn. So I used all her inventory, and was selling as if I was a 22-year-old. I mean, I didn't pretend I was, but that was the Depop and whatnot and all of that.
Yeah.
I kind of started thinking, what do I want to sell? Like, me at my age, in my stage of life. And it was, of course, luxury items, luxury bags, accessories. So I just naturally evolved into that.
So when did you know, okay, you're selling your daughter's items, and when did you know, was there a moment where you're like, okay, I'm going to go all in on this and I'm going to build my own business? Like, what was that like? Was it like an instantaneous thing, or was it just a gradual, okay, I want to do this forever?
It was pretty instant, because I loved it. And it's been a while since I've actually enjoyed doing something. I mean, my very first job in high school was managing a retail shoe store. Some very nice, shoes from Italy. The owner, brought them in from Italy. And I kind of went back into that mindset, like, wow, I'm taking back, so many years ago, but I love it. I love good quality. I love dealing with the customers. It goes back to like that relationship management skill that I've just always had and developed over 20 years. And it's just all about building a relationship with the customers, with suppliers, just everyone. It's all one big relationship management. I really enjoy it.
I think that's such a great way to look at this, because at the end of the day, that's what it is, because you're in sales. You're selling something that's high value and that is in demand. But if you don't have those relationships built up or are continuing to build, I think that's where a lot of people go wrong, because they're looking at it they're looking at the dollar signs, which is fine, but you have to look at the picture of a whole. And you having that background, I think, gives you a really great leg up, because you know how to build those relationships. And, at the end of the day, that's what it is. I mean, I've said this forever because I've been in sales my whole life. You buy from people you like, and you trust. It doesn't matter what the product is, but those are the three things that you, as a business owner, you want to make sure you are building those relationships and building that community. So when did you go all in with, okay, this is like, did you try selling on other platforms before you started your own website? How did that kind of evolve?
Yes, I started the website right away, actually, but it was terrible. And I did it all myself. So it took about 9 months, honestly, of me really working on it to get it to where I felt comfortable saying, okay, I'm going to do some Google ads. I'm going to want people to go here and look at it, because it was a struggle. And I know I could have outsourced it. I had plenty of people say, hey, we'll do this for, however many thousands of dollars. And it honestly wasn't even the money. I just wanted to do it myself because I wanted it to be how I wanted it to look. And I had a vision. And if I can't maintain my own website, what am I even doing? Like, I needed to know if I needed to make a change, how exactly to do all that. So I just learned it. And I also really enjoyed that. That was a lot of fun. And I feel good now, but it took a while.
Well, okay, so that I want to touch on that, because I think that is one of the most important things you can do for your business. So when I first started out a million years ago, that was the first time I got screwed over. Is I hired someone to build my website. He didn't listen to me. He did what he wanted to do. He completely overcharged me and then didn't give me access. And I was like, that will never, ever happen again. So I learned how to build websites on several different platforms. And it's one of the things that, because at the end of the day, no matter where you're selling, what platform or anything like that, you only have control over your website. That is it. And if you don't know how to get in to make simple changes or updates or anything like that, like you said, what are you doing? This, you have to, as a business owner, you have to know this, because I feel like I'm the type of person, like, if I don't know it, I'm going to learn it, and I will make 100 mistakes. But at the end of the day, I'm going to learn how to do it myself, because why am I going to pay something that I could do, and there are times to outsource and times not to. But even like now, because live selling is so massive, you have to have something online that legitimizes your business, even if it's just a one page that just links to your whatnot or your TikTok shop or whatever it may be. But understand, at the end of the day, you're on someone else's platform that you have no control over. You can wake up tomorrow and you're kicked off, and they don't have to tell you why. They don't have to do anything. What are you left with? So you need, the only thing of value of your website or your business is your database. So being able to grab people's emails and to market to them, again, that's all you have control over. So like you said it took 9 months, and that totally makes sense. It does, because, and I think this is where people get down in the weeds, that they think he needs to be perfect, and it doesn't. It's going to, you're going to continue to tweak it and update it. And on that note, also, if you do have a website, oh my God, log out of it, open another browser and look at it and make sure your links work, make sure everything makes sense, because I've seen so many horrible websites or links that don't work or misspellings. And one more point on this, I get AI, okay, but if I see one more beige website with the same font saying the same shit, like, I don't trust you at all. Like, stop using AI pictures. Like, I get it if you want to show, like, one image is fine. But if your hero image, the first image I see on your website is AI, automatically don't trust you. So you use AI as a support tool, not to build everything, unless you're going to use it as the framework, and then you're going to update it with your own verbiage, your own images. But again, having control over every aspect of your business is the most important thing.
Yes.
So were you selling on were you still doing Depop and whatnot and all of that when you built your website? And like, after you sold all your daughter's stuff, did you start focusing, like, what was the transition there? And then how did you do it? Because a lot of people think, okay, I'm going to start a business, I'm going to put a website up, and now I'm going to source, and I'm not going to launch until I have product. And I think people miss a massive opportunity to get people excited about what you're building if you wait to launch.
Right. It is kind of a hard transition, and I'm still in it, because I did move away from Depop and, just for the higher end luxury resale, Vestiaire, hope I'm saying that correctly, Poshmark and eBay. So those are the three that I'm still on, and I still do sell a lot through those. It frustrates me because customers are paying more, because my prices have to be higher to cover the fees. And, I want to respect the boundaries of those platforms. They do the advertising. I'm not going to tell a customer, hey, go to my website. But in my mind, I'm like, oh, I wish they would just go to my website.
Yeah, but you have to remember, struggle. But they understand that. And for a small business or a business just starting out, there's a million businesses just like yours. So until you build that community up, people feel much safer purchasing off a platform like that. And they'll pay the price because they know that there's protections there.
Right.
Now, what you can do, and you may already do this, write a little thank you note and say, hey, take 5-10% off anything on my website, or sign up to receive, early access to new arrivals. There's a million things you can do, but I think people also get stuck because they start in this industry and they're like, I'm going to launch my website and then I'm just going to make a ton of sales. Look, Fashion File, Rebag are still on eBay. Rebag's on Poshmark. Like, why wouldn't you take advantage of that? And like you just said, you've raised your prices to cover their commission, and you're making sales. And look, you're in this for the long haul. This isn't a, hey, I'm going to do this and then get rid of it. Utilize what's out there,
Yes. No, I do. I mean, that has been the biggest, I'd say, surprise of all of this, is how hard it is to get people to even know you have a website. Just all that, like, SEO optimization and all of that stuff that I had to learn pretty quickly. It's difficult to do. You can't just put up a website and there you go. It's not going to come up in anybody's search. So it's having all these different connections. The LRA, Luxury Retail Association, was really helpful because, again, it helped me build more relationships. Now I'm on, several different platforms, and getting that link that goes back and forth, I realized was one of the most important things. And you can't do that unless you build a relationship with somebody else who also has a platform.
Yeah.
So
exactly. Okay. So how are things going now?
They're going really well. My goal is to get more sales on my website. So that's kind of what I've been focused on. It's been slow over the summer. So I went back in, and now here's one thing I do use AI for. I have AI search and look at my website and tell me what is it that's not there that should be there.
Excellent.
So yeah. So then they say, well, we can't find you here. And we really should. And you should be on here. You should be on Reddit and all of this stuff. So really good information that I got from AI. And then I went back and I just kind of updated my website. AI also recommended that I have like a trust block. So when you're looking at a product, you see 5 bullet points of everything's authenticated, 7-day ships, returned, whatever it is, all these important bullet points to help people say, okay, maybe I can trust this place. Because you've got seconds when they click on a bag and they get to your website to keep them there. So I've been updating everything for that, to get that on there.
Well, that's good. And I think it's a work in, not a work in progress, but it constantly evolves. And that is that I love how you're using AI, because that's, and this is just my opinion, that's what I feel it's useful for, is to support your business, not, and again, we're talking about luxury resale. This is a very niche industry and it's unlike any others. How do you do any marketing locally in your community? Have you done any pop-ups or anything like that?
Not yet, but I would like to. I've been, anytime I'm somewhere, at an appointment, nail salon, beauty, hair appointment, I'm talking and I'm giving out my card. And I have been invited to several like pre-holiday pop-ups coming up. So that's exciting, where you collaborate with somebody else and you're both in there, hey, you can get your eyebrows done and you can also buy a bag or, whatever.
Exactly.
So I think I'm going to do that.
Yeah. Well, I think because look, you go on the internet and you're immediately slammed with AI. So it's not like it used to be, to where you could just build a really good website with great content and you would show up on the first page. Just things are different now. Starting locally in your community, I think, is the best thing that you can do, because these are the people that see you around town that will trust you more so than someone just happening upon your website, because they know you live there, you're in their community. I think doing pop-ups are literally, unless you're, doing live sales 5 days a week, your community and doing those pop-ups are a great way to build those relationships, because then they'll know, hey, I can text her and ask her if she can get me this bag. Or if there's any problem, I know she's local. Or, oh my God, I know she's going to do a pop-up. I'm going to budget and I'm going to buy from her because I trust her. So, and now is the time to start booking those out for the holidays, making sure you have inventory and, having fun, because this should be fun.
Yes. Yeah. And I think that's the whole point, is this is something I love to do. So it doesn't even feel like I'm working.
I love that. I love that. And I miss that. Okay. So how are you sourcing? Because I know there's a million different ways to source. There's a ton of wholesale companies out there. What are you finding that works for you?
So again, this has evolved over probably the past year. I only want to buy things that are excellent condition. And that's just my decision. Other people, they want to get the lower prices, so they're going to buy, something in a little less condition. But for me, I just feel like if I'm going to be, especially online and mailing out products, when that customer gets it, I just want it to look really good.
Yeah.
I just want it to be in good condition. So that's been my issue, is I need ways to source where I can, sort through a spreadsheet and pull it up by condition and find out, what I'm interested that way. So lately, people have actually been reaching out to me, which is nice, because I've kind of built out all the social media and everything, so they're able to find me. And then once I build trust with them and we start a relationship, then they know already what I want, and they'll come to me now with things. So like, hey, Erica, we're getting a new shipment next week of all A, B, and higher, limited editions. Great. Let's have a call, So that's where I am now. And that's great. But it took a while also to get here.
Oh, yeah. Well, nothing's going to happen overnight. And I I love that you built those relationships, because that's where you want to get it to where suppliers are reaching out to you saying, hey, we have this, this, and this. And that's awesome. I love that. Question, because I've noticed, and this is like maybe the last, I don't know, 3-5 years, the big players like the Real, Rebag, Fashion File, they used to all be, well, not the Real, but like Fashion File. Because I look at Fashion File as like the top of the food chain in luxury resale. They've done it the longest. They're trustworthy. They used to only do like A grade, and now they have a little bit of everything on there. Do you think if you launched like a mid-grade line, people would shop? Because my concern is like, I'm okay with a little cornerware. Like I'll fix it myself. Like I just bought a Goyard off of Fashion File for a absolute steal, because the little tab that closes it, the leather has come apart. Okay, so yeah. I know how to glue leather. I know how to put edge coat on, and I'm done. But the amount of money I saved just because of that, I mean, come on. So I understand. And look, this is your business. You do you. But I always feel like you may be missing out on a whole other demographic that are okay with a little bit of wear. You know, they'll put the elbow grease in, you know, or the whatever you call that frame. Is that anything you've looked at, or just your A grade and A grade only?
I haven't looked at it yet, but that's a great idea for me to, you know, for my next phase, to look at that and just, you know, have a separate section on the website. I just want to make it easy. And when people go to the website, they're like, oh, I know everything's going to be in great condition. So I don't have to worry about looking at every little thing. But I think if I sectioned it out and say, here's, you know, some older vintage, or, you know, some wear on it. Yeah. That would probably be a great idea to expand.
Yeah. Just like gently loved. Because even like I have a cobbler that I take all my bags to, and he is phenomenal. And I say this because B grade, that's where you're going to get a little bit better margin in there. So if you could even do it, you know, buy a bag, you know, take it to your cobbler, and all they're doing is like cleaning it or touching it up, you know, doing because the corner wear is always where, you know, bags show the wear. So if you can do that with, you know, you're not altering the bag or anything like that, you have a much better margin. So when I first started out, I only wanted to do one thing. And then I realized, wait a minute, I'm saying no to money because I'm limiting myself. But then I went the total opposite, and I took everything and was so annoyed because, oh my God, that was my beginning of learning how to say no. But, you know, the thing is this is your business. This is your dream. You have to follow your path. And I think that's super important, but always be open to like everything that's going on, you know, and take what works for you. So what are your plans for the future now?
Well, I want to keep growing, but I don't want to get too big, because everything I do, I want it to be done, you know, personally by me. I want to make sure all, you know, the customer is completely happy, and that's how I can stand out against like a Fashion Files. Well, I can give you that personal attention, but I do still have a lot of room to grow before that becomes an issue. So I would like to probably double in size, and then I'll be happy, and then that'll be a great business for me to run.
So how are you going to do that?
I'm just going to keep building relationships. You know, I just recently joined the LRA, so I mean, I'm really excited about that. And then the Luxe Jardine website, I just recently went into that partnership. So it's all happening very fast. And I think once things like this start happening, it's just going to snowball. So I'm just ready for, you know, any opportunities. I'm, you know, just building those relationships and seeing what happens.
I love that.
Hopefully it'll work.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's also, you know, it's fun. I mean, and one thing I want to say is you've said this multiple times throughout this conversation, is building relationships. And I think that is the most important thing, again, is building those relationships. So where can, okay, so I will link to your website, which is Barbee Dreamhouse.
Yes.
I love that. And your website's beautiful. It's absolutely
Thank
gorgeous.
you.
And it's super easy. Like I always look at like who you are, what do you do, and how can you help me? Okay. This is who you are. I know what you do because you got bags on there. And this is how you're going to help me because they're beautiful bags at a great price. So where they can find you on social, are you, okay, you said you were on Poshmark, you're on eBay. Do you do any live selling or is that in the future? What are you doing with that?
I have not done that. But again, that is something that I think could help me grow to where I want to be. So that is on my list to do.
So are you looking at Whatnot or TikTok? Because we have a webinar on the 26th, LRA.
Yes, I'm going to that.
TikTok shop
Yes, TikTok,
to find out more about that. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I'm approved on both for the, pre-owned category. So I'm just probably going to try both and see what happens. Again, it's a little scary. It's daunting to think, oh, I'm going to go live and I don't know, is anybody even going to be there? What's going to happen? Because it's just, you don't know. So I really just have to push myself and take that first step and just do one and see how it goes.
Well, okay. So the anticipation we know is always worse than the actual act of doing something.
Yes.
Plan like nobody's there, but also what I would suggest is have someone with you. Because if you're just doing it alone in a room, it can feel very isolating because you're talking to no one, but you're talking to everyone. Okay. And don't worry if nobody shows up. Just continue to do it because that's how you'll build your audience.
Right.
I know on Whatnot, you can, like some of the bigger sellers will give you shout outs and will, kind of push people into your lives. So building those relationships are really important. And I've just heard the best things about Whatnot sellers, just really being helpful to the smaller sellers. But have fun with it. And because the first time I went live, I thought I was going to have a heart attack. And then I was like, oh my God, this is nothing. Like, but be yourself. Absolutely be yourself. Like, don't try to polish it up because that's going to backfire. Trust me, I know. I'm like, this is me, warts and all. And also get an iPad or even get a monitor in front of you. So, because to try to do it on your phone and to read the comments and things like that, like forget it,
Yeah.
especially if you're wearing glasses.
Right. I can't see.
Yeah, just get a rolling monitor and it makes things so much easier. Plus, it's easier to see everything that you're doing too, to see what we're doing. Well, you'll have to let us know when you're going to go live. We will all jump on and support you. And okay, so a piece of advice, even though you've been in this industry a couple of years now, correct? With your daughter and then going under your own, what would be a piece of advice that you would give someone just starting out?
It would be to sell what you love, to really sell what represents you, because then, I mean, if you're passionate about it, that's going to show through. Again, because I started out selling things that, a vintage juicy couture sweatshirt or sweatsuit or whatever, those sell for a lot.
That's crazy.
But I had no idea. So I'm just, listing it for, whatever I think. And yeah, so it wasn't, I did love it and I enjoyed the selling process, but I wasn't passionate about the items.
Yeah.
So I think that once I found what I was passionate about, then it's, then it's so much easier. And I think that passion does kind of show through when you have a sale or you're building relationships.
Absolutely. And I think that's the most important thing, because I think people try to focus on everything luxury, and that it's overwhelming because it's too much. But when you start out doing what you really love, like you just said, you enjoyed the selling aspect, but not so much the product. But when you start doing your own product, that's where it kicks in. And that shows in the conversations and how the things that you put out there. And that's what people connect to.
Right.
And that's awesome. Well, thank you so much for being on the Closet Full of Cash podcast. I will link her socials and her website. And if you guys are looking for any authentic pre-owned luxury bags in A condition, check out Barbie's Barbee Dreamhouse. I love that name. It's so great.
Thank you so much for having me. This was a lot of fun.
Yes, always. That's a wrap on this episode of the Closet Full of Cash podcast. If you found this helpful, subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone you know. Got a question or a topic you want covered? Send us an email at info@closetfullofcash.com. We read every single submission. See you next episode.